Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness. I'm excited because we've got a special guest on today. And I want to make sure because her name is amazing and it's Delight Mapasure. And she is I'm going to say firecracker. I want you to say, bangers, and you're going to really understand what I'm talking about. The pun intended with all this. She's literally like, if you think about heating things up, you understand. We need to heat things up on this episode because she is going to set things on fire and you're going to get your taste buds really flaming up to the maximum because she is all about giving you the best with all that she has inside of her. She's absolutely inspirational, inspiring. There is actually no one like her out there. So that just tells you that this is the unique episode that you've ever encountered. And a lot of you are going to be tantalized by your taste buds indeed. So without further ado, before I do that though, let me just remind you, the SuperWomenCan podcast is all about celebrating, elevating professional Black women to elevate beyond what society says that we can, going past concrete ceilings, smashing them through and getting to the highest heights that you ever thought possible. Now, I know it's possible. I've brought along with me some incredible guests that are all successful in their unique areas. Now, I've got this individual who is a superwoman. When you hear the story, you are going to get as excited as me. Wait for it. Introducing Dee. Without further ado, let me hear more about you.
Thank you so much, Samantha. That was quite a big introduction. Now I feel like I really have to give the audience what they're expecting right now. So like Samantha said, my name is Delight Mapasure, but you can call me Dee. Everybody calls me Dee. Dee Mapasure. I am the co-founder of Boerewors Limited. We produce a range of South African inspired, multiple award-winning premium sausages. Our products have been in the market since 2016. I started the business on my kitchen table. I started on my kitchen, in my home, around my family. And this is what, for me, this is what it means to run a family business, something that is centered around your family. And what started as a kitchen table hobby has now blossomed into this amazing global brand. I've now grown what started as a simple kitchen table business into a global brand. We've just started exporting this year, and I'm just really, really excited at everything that we've been through. Obviously, we're going to talk about how we got there, but for now, for this instant, I'm just really excited about where we are today.
Wow. Amazing. Like literally, she started something from a kitchen table, like just around your family. That is just amazing where you have gone to. And how many years did it take? I mean, you're saying like did it take a long time for you to become this global brand that you are now known for?
Oh yes, it took a long time, definitely. And when they say there's no such thing as overnight success, I can definitely attest to that. It has taken almost something over 6 years, I think. This has been almost 6 years in the making. And, you don't see how long it's taken until somebody like you asks, like, how long have you been doing this? That's when you realize it has been that long.
You know what? I don't know. I know you think it's 6 years sounds like a long time, but to go from starting something and being where you are to true elevation and success, 6 years is not a bad start. And I'm just thinking of people like KFC and some big names like Disney. They took years and years and years to be where they are. You're like blowing it by storm. Now, am I correct in saying you are the first Black female sausage maker in the UK? Is that UK, Europe?
I would say UK. I'm not too sure about Europe. I'm not sure about global, but you know what? It is a crown that I wear with pride.
Yes,
just to be the first female sausage producer in the UK an immigrant with an immigrant background coming to the UK and establishing something as big as this. And we all know what sausages are like here already. There's plenty of sausages on the market.
Yeah,
So to be
absolutely.
able to get into that market, dominate, conquer, go global, like seriously, I look at myself every day and I'm like, girl, you did it.
I am in awe. Like my eyes are popping open, like literally popping open. Now you have to tell us the story. How did it, like, I know you said that it came from the kitchen, but tell me what inspired you, what influenced you? What was your triumphs? What was your successes? What was your defeats before you got to your triumphs? I want to hear it all. Tell me the meaty stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, Samantha. You know, this is a story that I love sharing with people because it is about that journey. It is the journey that matters. Where we are now really doesn't matter that much, but it is the journey. So it started off, you know, I don't know about you, but every time we miss home, it's the food that we miss the most. It's always your mother's cooking, your grandmother's cooking, or maybe the chippy down the road, or maybe the pub down the road does the best pint or something, but it is always food that connects us to where we're from. So for me, when I became homesick, you know, missing the African sunshine, just missing the whole vibe, the one thing that I missed the most was the food. Because, you know, in Africa, meal times are big occasions. You would think there's something happening, you know, everybody comes together. And my mom, she was such a feeder. She would invite everybody. People would come around, bring, you know, just bring and share to our house, and we'd all chill, eat together. And I missed all of that. And so I thought, you know what? I want to capture all of that. I want to capture the vibe, capture the sunshine, capture the excitement. What can I do to bring this to the UK so that I can reconnect with my heritage, with my tradition? And I suddenly remembered that we have amazing sausages in Africa. And I looked at the market. There was no such thing as an African sausage. So we've got German sausages, English sausages, Polish sausages, you know, we've got the English Lincolnshire, but there was nothing by definition as an African sausage. And that was it. I was like, that's a gap in the market. Now I've got to do something about it. So we got an old family recipe and we started working with it, developing the recipe, and started, you know, just trying to have a strong USP, because like I said, it's already saturated. It's a saturated category, too many sausages. And the last thing anybody was expecting was another sausage. And so we had to develop a really strong USP. And how we did that, we created a sausage with 3 types of meat, beef, pork, and lamb. And that was a challenge. It worked on my kitchen table, but when we tried to take it commercial, it became a massive challenge, because there are just certain things you don't change when you're making sausages. And that is exactly what I was trying to do. I was messing everybody up. They were all like, look, this is great. It tastes great, looks great, sounds great. I'm not touching that recipe, because that's not how we do sausages here. We just chuck it all in. And I was not about to chuck it all in. I was all about quality ingredients, quality ingredients made in small batches, maintaining that authenticity and just giving the customers that whole experience that they missed about what sausages are truly, you know, what sausages used to be before we started putting all of these other things in sausages. And so I persevered. You know, I went on this journey knowing fully well what challenges were ahead of me. The biggest challenge to start off, just trying to get the product from my kitchen table into anywhere, was capital. So I had, obviously, I had, you know, I was just a bit naive to think that, you know, I could just simply rock up and say, I've got an amazing product, let's sell. It didn't quite work out like that. It turned out I needed quite a bit of capital. It was just simply startup capital, you know, but it became such a big deal because I couldn't get it. I couldn't get anything at all. I went through a total of 19 applications for funding, startup funding, that were all declined. I counted them, 1, 2, 3 to 19. all getting declined. And obviously, as the person that I am, never giving up, always pushing, I would go back and ask why. Sometimes they would tell me why, sometimes they wouldn't. And each time I got told why, I would work on that and improve it for the next application. Now, I'm really big on faith, and I believe that, you hold on to things. Once you have something that you believe in, you hold on to it, you keep pushing, keep believing, and knowing your why will keep pushing you to that goal. And so that's what I did, until one day I sat up through the night going through this lengthy application form. And I remember telling myself that, you know what, this is it. If this one doesn't work out, I think this wasn't meant to be. And that's when I got my break. It was almost like it was the 20th application, and I was exhausted. I had sat up through the night. I saw the sun come out, and I submitted that application, and I got my break. Samantha, they called me and said, nobody has ever done this. Our application takes 3 days to complete. You've done it in 24 hours. You must be very determined. And I said, I need this break. And they said, we haven't really gotten into the application, but you've ticked one of the boxes that we look for in entrepreneurs that we want to invest in. Determination. You've done this. You've dedicated your whole 24 hours into doing this. No. It was one of those really nice feeling. I suddenly went, and it was a huge sigh of relief. It meant everything to me. To finally see something I'd been working on for years finally come to fruition, it was absolutely amazing. And so from then on, we developed the product, got it shelf ready, and we started approaching buyers. And again, that was another challenge on its own. But, I kept pushing, I kept persevering, and I landed myself a deal with Ocado. And, to think an African girl like me, a girl that had been declined funding, like 19 times, and suddenly got her break, is finally launching the first African sausage with a massive online retailer like Ocado. It was a moment for me to really appreciate that, all of the hard work was finally paying off. And, I thought for a minute, that's it. My prayers have been answered. We can go. But I did know that I had another challenge facing me. The manufacturers I'd been working with, they dumped me a week before going live. They just sent an email. It was just one line. What? Sorry, but we can't work with you.
What?
Just like that, Samantha. So we had everything ready, all agreed, all signed off, ready to go. Ocado is happy. I'm happy. Everybody is happy. We're all hyped up. And just one line, we're sorry, we can't work with you.
The devil's a liar.
There was no explanation. There was nothing. They just said, come and pick up all your stuff. And that was it, really. I remember the feeling that day. I just felt something in my stomach, something turned in my stomach. And I said, I don't know what this means, but you know what? I'm not about to lose this deal. And so I went on LinkedIn, and I was just looking, for opportunities, looking for manufacturers, looking for anybody that I could talk to. When you're an entrepreneur, your network becomes your family. Those people that you don't know become your friends. All of those people, the virtual people, they become your friends. And so I came across a video. Somebody had just posted a video randomly about a new machine they'd bought for their factory. And that factory was a sausage manufacturing factory. And I just went on the video and I commented. I'm like, oh, what a nice little toy. And I sent them a message. I was like, can I come and visit? I'd love to see your toy in action. And they were like, oh, of course, why not? You can pop round. And, just like that, my God did it for me again. He did it for me again. I went for that meeting. The idea was just to see how this machine works, because I was really fascinated. But when I got there, I told them what had happened. I told them what I was currently going through. And before I even finished, before I told them the whole story, they were like, you know what? Don't worry about it. We'll take you on. We'll take you on this journey because we've been there before. We've been startups before. We've been let down before. And we know what it means to have something that you believe in so much and then get let down. And from that day onwards, these people have been one of the best people I've ever worked with. They picked me up when I was down, I was flat on my face, picked me up and just told me to soldier on. And I remember sending an email to Ocado and saying, there's going to be a slight delay. And I told them the best way possible that I'd been let down, but I'd found a solution. I was kind of expecting them to say, oh, you know what? Maybe this year is not the year for you, or maybe this time is not the right time for you. But you know what they said, Samantha? They said, it's fine, we'll wait. You let us know when you are ready. We will wait. Just keep us updated. And you know, when the time came around, December 2019, we finally launched an Ocado, and it was an amazing feeling to finally see the product flying out and going to real people, because I'd just been used to giving it to my family and friends. And now it was going to strangers' homes. And I started getting all of this feedback, like, where was this product? And it was all so exciting. But, you know, by now you must know that I don't have the best of luck. So 2019 was the eve of the pandemic. So come January, things started, you know, slowly, quietly. February, March 2021, bang on, we were in the pandemic. And that is me pretty much cut off the game. Nobody knew what was happening. There was nobody to blame. The world came to a standstill, but I did not. I took that as an opportunity. I took that as an opportunity because I said, it doesn't matter what we're going through, people still need to eat.
People still need to eat. I'm going to say, we still need to eat, right?
Yes. And everybody started to eat a lot, you know. And people
try new things as well. People will try
new things.
Absolutely.
You know? And I set up overnight, cooked up a website, used the template on Shopify, made up a website, started listing all of our products on there, and boom, that was it. We just created another route to market. And all of the customers that couldn't get our product from Ocado at the time, all diverted to our website because they were all looking for us everywhere. And they all came to our website.
Amazing.
You know, and I was so grateful that I didn't go to sleep when everyone else went to sleep. I stayed awake. And again, I'm a very spiritual person. It reminded me of the bridesmaids. You know, they sat up all night.
Yes.
You know, you don't go to sleep when everyone else sleeps. You need to stay awake. And that's what I did. The whole world went to a standstill, but I kept moving. And so we created another route to market. And we got all of these sausage fans. We you know, I remember getting, you know, messages from people saying, I was supposed to travel to South Africa for the first time, but now I get to try this product. It just gives me a real sense of Africa. It's so different. It's so warm. It's amazing. It's everything that you say it is. You know, those kind of messages, they were so encouraging to keep me going, you know, and so we carried on this journey. And it all seemed like, you know, everything was going great. Ocado picked up and we combined, you know, the two routes and everything was going absolutely amazing. And towards the end of the pandemic, I had a call. First, it was a message on Instagram. It was a researcher from Dragon's Den. And they started off by saying, look, we are just scouting for people to come on the show. We came across your brand. We came across your story. You know, we came across everything that you've been doing. And we think you have such an amazing story that needs to be shared. So despite, you know, looking for funding and everything, you have an amazing story that we really want to share with the world. And, you know, I was overwhelmed. And I was like, me, like, and the first thing that I thought was, no, it can't be right. It's spam. There's no way. I looked at everything. I said, there's nothing special about my business. There's absolutely nothing Dragon's Den about it. And so I ignored that message. I went about my work, and then they sent an email. Again, I was like, oh, very persistent. I ignored that email, and then they found my number and called me. And they said, we've been trying to get in touch. I said, oh, I've noticed, and I've been ignoring you. I thought it was spam. And so we got talking, and, they just told me that, you know what, you have to tell your story. You have to share your story, and would really love to have you on the show and help you tell that story and help you get some funding. And I said, you know what, I am actually looking for funding. I want to grow the business. I'm at a stage where I feel the business can grow now, and this is the perfect opportunity. And they said, so are you in? I said, definitely. I'm not, I will always say yes. I will always say I'm that kind of person that will jump and grow wings on their way down. I'm a trier. I try things. I go for things. I try, because I hate to kick myself and say, I wish I'd gone for that opportunity.
Yeah.
And so I went for it. It was a grueling 6 months. That 5 minutes you see on TV, it's almost 6 months in the making.
Wow.
Yeah, it does take a very, very long time. So there's the filming, there's all the background checks, the due diligence, and all of that. And also they do keep track of your business just to see how you're doing, who your partners are, which people you're talking to, and all of that. So they keep an eye on that, because obviously they want to protect the dragons and also protect you as an individual and you as a business as well. And so, I went on Dragon's Den. The night before I went on, I was told that 4 of the dragons were not likely to invest. And Tuka Suleiman doesn't eat pork. And so his interest in my product was reduced, because my product contains beef, pork, and lamb.
Yeah.
Tej Lauvani had just turned vegetarian the week before. So, yeah, you know the story, right? Deborah Meaden, vegan, strictly vegan. She's just not in that area at all. And Peter Jones, fortunately, he's a sausage fan. Unfortunately, he is already invested in a sausage business. Oh. So the only sausage fan on there was not available. So I was left with Sarah Davies to please. And, when I found that out, I was a little bit disappointed, because you don't want to go in knowing that you're already at a disadvantage. You want to go at a level play field. You want to go in there knowing fully well that you've got everything to fight for, and just knowing that, the play field is level. And in that moment, I just felt it was massively unfair that they left it last minute to tell me that. However, being the person that I am, I was like, you know what, let's just go for it. I've already come this far, and there has to be a reason in the universe for all of this happening, Absolutely. And so I went, confidently walked on that set, big smile, big hair, looking all colorful and bright. I went through my pitch, I gave it my best shot. And despite all the other dragons obviously having different issues, they all gave me very, very good feedback. They gave me very, very good feedback. I don't know how they edit it such that they make them look like real dragons, but they are just people, When you're in there, the energy in there is very positive. And, they just relate to you, just like, on a one-to-one basis, pretty much like how we are speaking. And it was quite a nice, relaxed environment. Unfortunately, I didn't get the investment that I was looking for at that time. And it was disappointing. I'd worked really hard. I was kind of hoping that despite everything, I would walk away with something, but I didn't get the investment I was looking for. This one hit me differently, Samantha. It was different to the other times, the 19 times I'd been declined. This particular setback hit differently because I felt almost humiliated because it was in front of millions of people. And I remember asking myself, what are people going to think? People are probably going to think this whole business, this whole show is a con or it's a scam. You know, nobody's going to believe in me. I was kicking myself. You know, I was thinking, all of this hard work has come to this, really? You know, it took me some time to snap out of it, and I had to snap out of it. I had to remind myself of the queen that I was, the fighter that I was, and you know, the why. And you know, I had to reignite that fire in my belly. I had to reignite that fire, and suddenly I was like, no, I can fight this. I can fight this rejection. I can bounce back from this rejection. And what I did was I started reaching out to all of my contacts, every person that I'd ever spoken to about my product in the past. I just randomly started reaching out. You know, hi, I was on Dragon's Den. I was on Dragon's Den. Excuse me.
That's okay.
So I was like, hi, I was in Dragon's Den, and you know, you've probably watched me. Things didn't go very well for me, but I'm still going, I'm still alive, and you know, I still want to keep this dream alive, you know. And I was reaching out to everybody until one day I had an email back from Costco. Actually, it was a phone call. The buyer rang me and he said, Delight, we would love to have your product in Costco. Wow. And you know, I just went weak at the knees, and I didn't know what to say. I was totally at a loss. I was not even expecting that call on that particular day from that particular retailer. And it just took everything from me, and I broke down. And I remember him saying, are you still there? Are you there? And I just said to him, yes, I'm here. And yes, I would love to have my products in Costco. And, you know, from then on, I just began to appreciate, you know, I began to appreciate the power of faith, just believing. It doesn't matter how little, you know, how little that opportunity is, but, you know, it grew into something. You know, the setbacks, I bounced back, and I landed onto this deal with Costco. And they wanted it done pretty much yesterday. They were like, we are already listing for this season, and we want your product for this season. And when we say we want them for summer, well, we don't really mean June or July. We mean now, in a matter of 2 weeks. And then they said, oh, that's going to be a problem. As you watch the national television, I am broke. I don't have any money. Whole world knows I'm broke. I don't have any money. And, you know, they were quite understanding. You know, we sat down and they asked me what my issues were, and we went through all the issues, and they were very, very supportive. And they made sure that deal happened when they wanted it to happen. So they gave me all the support that I needed and made that deal happen. Now, what people don't understand about Costco is, and maybe people may not know this, they don't usually list a product before you do sampling. You have to do in-store sampling first. So you go in, you cook your product, and their members come in and try the product, and they collate data to see whether or not their members like the product. But what happened to me, there was something short of a miracle. They just said, you know what, we will take your product, forget the sampling, let's put it on shelf and see how it performs. Oh, I remember that day praying over my product and thinking, I want, you know, everybody should buy my products. If anything, you know, I just wanted that opportunity so much. And as it happened, we outperformed. Even, you know, whatever targets they set, we smashed them. They set targets, we smashed. Wow. We were smashing targets left, right, and center. And I had never sold that much sausage since I started this business. And we became so popular. We got invited to do a road show. We smashed that road show. It was billed one of the biggest events in Costco. They had never seen anything like that. And the love for my product was absolutely amazing. And the people that kept coming to me and saying, oh, you know what, forget what happened on Dragon's Den. This is the real deal. And I could actually see that, that was the real deal. I saved my company. I ended up not losing any equity in my business. And I managed to grab an amazing deal with Costco. And, from then on, people started calling me the queen of bounce back. They're like, how do you keep bouncing back? How do you keep bouncing back? But, so that has been my journey, Samantha. And right now, just this week, we started exporting. And I know that technically we are a small business, but I like to say we are a small business with big ambitions.
Yeah,
I'm a big, big dreamer, and I will let them call me small until they see the big moves I'm pulling. and when I announced that we're exporting, I remember people coming to me and saying, what, you? I said, yes, me. And how? Like, well, that's a story for another day. But yes, we are definitely doing this. And again, I just keep pushing myself. I am not shy to take on opportunities. And I do not see any concrete ceilings. I do not see anything standing in my way. The only thing I see is that vision, the dream, and this destiny that I've crafted and created for myself. Because you know what? My dad always used to say, the universe owes you nothing. It owes you nothing. Nobody owes you anything. But you go out there and you create what you feel you deserve. You create it, you craft it, you build it from the ground up. And that's what I've been doing. And this is where I am today. And, I haven't stopped. I'm still going. I still see plenty of opportunities. And I am just really, really grateful for the journey so far.
Wow, what an emotional, I don't know, I have been like going through so much where you've had me in tears. I got excited again and I was in tears again, and I have just faced it. All I seen was keep the hunger, like literally keep the hunger.
That's it.
That has been inside you, that, like you said, the resilience, the determination, you've kept going despite rejection. And it reminds me that as Black women, one thing that we do have to encounter is a lot of rejection. Yes. But we have been built for this. We have been built for it. Centuries of being passed aside and put aside. We have this strength that we carry from our ancestors to keep going. And you have that. You have got like maybe a £1 million serving of it, but it's in you. And I am just literally in awe. Like, as I'm sitting here, there's things that I know that I should be doing. I could be doing a bit of extra this, extra that. You have really like gone, I need to get up, Samantha, go and do those things. There's nothing to stop you. So you've inspired me today. Now,
thank you so much.
Honestly, I know that there's many people who are going to be watching this episode. And if you were to give them a few tips, let's say 5 tips on what has kept you going, so they can use those same tips for themselves, what would those tips be? I mean, I can see a few already myself. If you were to, quantify it, label it, what would you say?
Of course. Yes, of course. It starts with why. I know it sounds a bit of a cliche, but it starts with why. You need a really, really strong why you're doing something, because your why is going to give you the strength to bounce back every time you fall. Every time you fall, you think of your why will propel you back. It will bring you back. So you need a really strong why. And the second thing that you need, obviously, is resilience. Every entrepreneur, in anything, even if you're preparing for exams, even if you're preparing for for anything in life, for a new challenge, you need resilience. You need to be a resilient person. You need to build this resilience. Some people are not born resilient, so they need to build this resilience within them. They need to learn how to be resilient. But it is one of the qualities that you need in order to succeed or to keep going on your journey, on any journey at all. And the third one is you need patience. It cannot happen overnight. Rome was not built overnight. It wasn't built in a day.
Absolutely.
You know, everything that we see today, it did not happen overnight. Yes, some things do happen overnight, but real good, strong businesses are built with time. They take time to build. The fourth thing I would say is you need to create a network of support. Because like I said to you, my network became my friends. I could bounce. Right now, I can, if I have any issues, I've got you in my network. I know you're a diversity champion. I can come to you and talk to you about all things diversity. If I'm facing any challenges in that area, I know where to go. If I'm facing any financial challenges, there's someone in my network that I can go to. So you need to build a network. No man is an island. You can't survive on your own. You need a strong network around you. Forget your network is your net worth, but just think about the support. You need people to bounce back on. You need that support around you. And definitely those people must be at certain levels. You know, there must be your role models. There must be people maybe already achieving the things that you want to achieve, and you are learning from them. You know, you're basking in their sunshine. Those are the kind of people you need around you. And the fifth thing, I think we're on number 5.
Yep.
I would say is, wow, it's just stay hungry.
Yeah, stay hungry.
You know, stay
I'm
hungry.
Starving right now.
Well, we know why, but I won't say it, but we know why you're starving. But you know what? You know, stay hungry. Stay hungry, you know, you need to want it every single day and want it more every single day. If that dream isn't waking you up every morning, then it's not big enough. You don't want it enough, because you can't sleep on an empty stomach. So stay hungry, keep feeding that passion, keep feeding that passion. And the hungrier you are, the more you see opportunities, because a hungry person, when they get in the kitchen, they can cook anything, you know, they can make a meal out of nothing when they're hungry. So have that mentality, stay hungry, want it, live it, dream it every single day.
Definitely agree. And just like you said, I love the bounce back, because the thing is, some people really don't take rejection well. And when they get rejected, it's like their life is over. That's it. That's it. Time to give up. I'm hanging up my shoes. And you just never did. You just never did that. And because you didn't do that, doors kept opening, and you stepped through that new opportunity. And then, then if it didn't go well, then it presented itself another opportunity. One thing that I've noticed with yourself, and something that I've noticed in my life, and it probably comes down to faith, and you've got a lot of favor. You may not have a lot of luck, but you've got a lot of faith and favor, and that's all you need, my girl. And
thank you.
You've got faith and favor. They're two powerful forces at work in you. And when you have those things, when you really believe that no matter what, your dream will show up where it's supposed to, no matter what is meant to be yours will be yours, then you'll keep going, because you know this might be a sideways, this may be moving me in one direction, but it's sure going to take me to the direction that I need to go on. You know, it may be a no from them, but I know it's a yes from my source, my server, you know, my God. If that's what you believe in, I believe in God. So for me, it's my God. And when you believe that, and whatever you believe in, as long as you believe in yourself as well, you're going to achieve it. You have been absolutely amazing on here. Now,
thank you.
6 years. This is only 6 years. And I'm looking at to add, because for me, I waited 10 years before we were able to have our first child. 10 years. And then I had 5 in 5 years. So
amazing. Wow.
Acceleration can happen to anyone. Like literally, I'm pregnant with my 6, and people are like,
oh, congratulations.
Yeah, 6. But the thing is, with 6, I've done everything in my life. Like I achieved everything I wanted to achieve. So amazing. You know, for me, and I'm now in my passion, I'm in my purpose. I'm doing things because I love to do them. You know, I'm now making sure that my children have what they need for their futures. I've done mine, like literally, I'm now just building theirs and those of others around me. That's all I do is serve now others. Now it's your time. How can I
Amazing,
elevate
amazing,
you? How can I move you
amazing,
forward?
amazing, Samantha.
So
Wow.
honestly, you have inspired me. Now I'm going to say, can we get a looking glass? Because boy, if I could see your next 5 years, what would it look like? Because to me, the way that you spent 6 years, like, oh, it took so long. It's like, to people that are watching them, like, that is not long at all to be a global sensation. Tell me, in 5 years' time, where do you see yourself? If you were to write yourself a letter and go, guess where I am right now, tell me,
Oh,
you see.
oh, you know what? I would say, dear D, look at you. You have done it. You've conquered the world. You
Wow.
have empowered women. You have changed lives of women, because I'm thinking about women like me, women who look like me, have walked the same road as me, have faced the same difficulties as me, and they've given up or they are about to give up. 5 years from now, I want all of those doors open for them. I want all of those walls broken down so they're just walking through and the path has been met, has been cleared out for them. All of these women with dreams that they believe in, I can see all of these women walking through, sitting on boardrooms, setting up their own factories, following, working with me, following in my footsteps, becoming, champions in manufacturing. I can see clearly every single woman empowered through my story. I want people to read my story, hear my story, and say, she never gave up, and so I am not giving up.
Wow. Yes. Right. So I just have to say, like, I'm literally in awe of you, like amazing. Like, you continue to shine. I am gonna be watching you like a hawk on hunger, because now I'm starving, like literally hungry. And for anyone who's watching, if you're not hungry or built up a big appetite by the end of this, I guarantee that you need to go back, rewatch it, and rebuild that appetite to succeed in whatever you're doing. Now, I just want to say thank you so much. This is an awesome, awesome episode. I'm going to tell everyone here, follow. There's going to be links below. Follow D. Follow what she's doing. Find out how she is in terms of how she got where she is, but also what she's doing to continue to succeed, and take as many pork, lamb, and beef sausages out of her book and follow them so you can elevate as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate the time that you've taken from here, and I'm so glad that you're watching, those who are watching today.
And listen, if anybody wants to reach out, don't be shy. I'm very open. I might be slow at responding, but I will get back to you. So if anybody wants to reach out for anything at all, I'm very open. My socials are very open, so don't be shy to reach out.
Do you hear it here first? Reach out, go into those DMs. She's open to them, and make sure that you do. Thank you, Dee, so much.
Thank you, Samantha.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, and you too.